The Kerala tourism is in the eye of a big storm after it tweeted a recipe of a beef dish. Now, this official social media handle on Twitter of Kerala Tourism shared an image of a beef dish that described it as a traditional dish cooked in aromatic spices. And just after that, the right-wing group Vishwa Parishad took a dig at the Kerala tourism, questioning if this tweet was meant for promoting tourism or promoting beef. BJP's Member of Parliament, Shobha Karanlaje, slammed Kerala government, saying that they have declared a war against the Hindus of Kerala. She further added that Vijayan government is taking a ride on the Hindu sentiments by glorifying beef on the day of Makar Sankranti. Gopi Krishnan Unithan joins me from Kerala directly on this developing story. So Gopi, how is this being viewed there in the state? Importantly, yes, beef is consumed by a lot of people there in Kerala, but this has now become a political war.
Well, absolutely. Even if you are looking at that particular thread and the responses and the retweets to that particular tweet which was put out by the Kerala Tourism, we can easily understand that has actually spiraled into a political and also a religious debate, because the BJP, we have the BJP and the Vishwa Parishad and the right wing on the one side, which is now accusing the state government of actually deliberately trying to hurt the Hindu sentiments, and saying that even Shobha Karanlaje, the BJP MP, was accusing the Vijayan government of deliberately trying to cause harm or trying to create tension on the day of Makar Sankranti. But if we actually go into that particular tweet or the series of tweets which was put out by the Kerala Tourism over a past 1 month period, we can see that there are multiple varieties of dishes which were actually shared, or the kind of cuisines that are very common in Kerala. The recipes and other things were actually shared in that tweet. But unfortunately, it's this particular tweet which has now caught the eye of the storm, and we have been trying to get in touch with the government sources, but none of them have really taken this seriously, is what we are assuming, because for the people in Kerala, at least, beef is not really going to be a much of an issue, because religious difference when it comes to the matter, or when it comes to the fact of eating or consuming beef. So in Kerala, there is a very low profile. There isn't any much response even that has come even from the right wing and the BJP specifically at the moment.
Correct. So it's become more of a left and a BJP political war as well. And the beef controversy is back. Gopi Krishnan, thank you so much for all the latest to us about this developing story. Let me now take you to my colleague Akshita Nandagopal, because while this controversy over beef is back, it has come often in the past as well. Akshita, over to you.
Thanks very much, Pooja. So as you pointed out, in Kerala, we've seen this kind of a controversy in the past as well over beef. Now we're talking about this particular incident over the Kerala tourism ad, which has tweeted out a beef dish. Now let's go back to previous instances. In the last 2-3 years, we've seen a lot of incidents taking place. If we can just go to also the next incident that we are talking about, this is in 2018, when students who were studying in a college in Alapura said that they were forced to eat beef. These were students from North India who were studying there, and said that they were served beef cutlets without being told that it was beef. In May 2017, there were beef fests that were organized across Kerala. This is after the centre had banned the sale of cattle from animal markets to slaughters, and in protest they went ahead and did that. And in the same month, in May, while we saw protests across Kerala, Congress workers also went on to slaughter a cow publicly. This happened in Kannur, which already witnesses a lot of a lot of attacks as well between the left and the right. The Congress doing that also triggered a massive controversy. But from May 2017, this has been, something that's been a flashpoint really in Kerala, the serving of beef, and the fact that there were attempts to ban it also in the past.
Akshita, thank you so much for taking us through this controversy that's often come up on the beef issue, not just a dish, clearly in the political arena. Akshita, thank you so much. Breaking news coming in from Maharashtra, because the Shiv Sena has lashed out at the Bharatiya Janata Party in its editorial and mouthpiece Samna today over Sanjay Raut's Indira Gandhi comment. Shiv Sena has said that it was good to see the Bharatiya Janata Party suddenly take offense over Raut's comments on Indira Gandhi, and that suddenly BJP is now close to former Prime Minister. Shiv Sena has said that those who once wanted to wipe out Indira Gandhi from the history of India are now expressing discontent on statements made about her. Shiv Sena also clarified once again that it has always defended Indira Gandhi. Mustafa Sheikh joining me live from Mumbai on this story. Mustafa, of course, there have been Shiv Sena taking a dig at the BJP since the alliance fell off. But now it is about Indira Gandhi and what exactly has the Samna editorial said?
Well, it's clear that Sanjay Raut, after making comments about Indira Gandhi meeting often the underworld don Karim Lala, he found himself in a tough spot, and then there was criticism and he had to back out and retract his statements which were made. But at the same point of time, the BJP took this opportunity in Maharashtra and targeted Congress for criminalization of politics and bringing in mafias and taking fundings for elections. All these things were clarified by Sanjay Raut and the relatives of Karim Lala. But at the same point of time, in the editorial, Sanjay Raut has said that the BJP is now taking interest about Indira Gandhi and asking clarifications about her meetings.
Okay.
So this is a good positive step. There, Sanjay Raut and Samna Shiv Sena maintained that they were the ones who used to come and defend Indira Gandhi whenever she was criticized and her policies were criticized by the BJP. Back to you, Pooja.
Mustafa, thank you so much for all this latest today morning about how BJP has been taken a dig at by the Sena over Indira Gandhi. Imran Khan has admitted now that Pakistan's propaganda on Kashmir has failed. The Pakistan Prime Minister, speaking to a German news agency DW, confessed that there were no takers for Pakistan's Kashmir narrative. Imran Khan said Western countries have commercial interests in India, and that is the reason that the world is silent on Kashmir issue. Imran Khan's admission himself comes after a day after the UN Security Council dismissed an attempt by China and Pakistan to rake up Kashmir again. Imran Khan, interestingly, was also asked about the plight of the Uyghur Muslims in China, which he claimed was addressed privately with their ally because it was a sensitive issue. India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan joins me live from New Delhi. So Geeta, very interesting there that while he's asking Western nations to talk about Kashmir, which is part of India, no comment on the Uyghur Muslims in China, at least in the public domain. Over to you now, Geeta.
Well, absolutely. He has been absolutely quiet and silent about any atrocities by China against Muslims in Xinjiang province of China. Having said that, the admission coming from Imran Khan that it is because of the economic factor that India has reached at a global stage where the global community cannot ignore India, and is the reason why this lukewarm response to Kashmir should be a wake-up call to Pakistan and to Beijing that they cannot continue trying to internationalize the issue of Kashmir. It is a fact that India is a major country in the region, a global power, so to say, and therefore the legislations that have been carried out in India might not be very popular, but certainly not a place for the international community to comment on.
All right, Geeta, thank you so much for all the latest and this big story coming today morning. Now about a big story today morning. The Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, has stoked a controversy with his remarks on de-radicalizing the youth of Kashmir. General Rawat had on Thursday suggested that the state needs to identify the radicalized young men and then put them in camps. The remark, however, has drawn flack from AIMIM Chief and Member of Parliament Asaduddin Owaisi, slamming the CDS directly. In a series of social media reactions on Twitter, Owaisi is accusing General Rawat of undermining civilian supremacy. The AIMIM chief has questioned that who will de-radicalize the lynchers and their political masters. He also went on to link it with the NPR and the NRC, suggesting the Meerut SP, who sparked a row with his Pakistan remarks, should also be de-radicalized. Now remember, this is not the first time that General Rawat has triggered a controversy by his controversial remarks.
What we are seeing in Kashmir, we saw radicalization happening. Today we are seeing radicalization being undertaken even amongst the young people. Girls and boys as young as 10 and 12 are now being radicalized. These people can still be isolated from these radicalization in a gradual way. But there are people who have completely been radicalized. These people need to be taken out separately, possibly taken into some de-radicalization camps. We've got de-radicalization camps going on in our country. Let me tell you, even Pakistan is doing the same.
The Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, spoke of striking terror at the source. He also spoke of isolating state sponsors of terror globally. But what was interesting was his focus on the de-radicalizing of youth and isolating those who also de-radicalize these young men, whether online or on places of worship and education. Abhishek Bhalla with this special report.
In less than a month, it will be the first anniversary of the Pulwama terror attack. A terrifying strike that killed 40 Central Reserve Police Force personnel. And after a year that has seen conflict and turmoil in its wake, India today made a thundering declaration. From no less than its newly minted Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat.
So long as there are going to be states that are going to be sponsoring terrorism, so long there are going to be states that are going to use terrorists as their proxies, make weapons available to them, make the funding for them, we cannot control terrorism. And therefore, what is the final end state that we wish to arrive at? We have to bring an end to terrorism, and that can only happen the way the Americans started after 9/11. They said, let's go on a spree on global war on terror.
In his first public comments since taking office, General Rawat has laid out the contours of India's security focus. He has, in effect, declared a renewed and focused war on Pakistan's state-sponsored terror. As an officer who helped plan both the cross-border raids in Myanmar in 2015 and the post-Uri surgical strike in 2016, General Rawat knows that terrorism has to be smashed at its root. And if India needed any reminding, all of those roots lead to Pakistan, a state sponsor of terror. But as the Chief of Defence Staff, General Rawat, calls for a spree against terror, here is a quick roundup of just the top 5 in India's long list of most wanted terrorists. Topping the list for decades is Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar, who has a $25 million bounty on his head. Wanted since 1993 for orchestrating the Mumbai blasts that killed over 257 people. He's currently known to be a VVIP protectee of Pakistan's ISI and lives in the defense housing area of Karachi, though he also travels to Dubai on fake passports. India's most wanted terrorist number 1, Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar. Most wanted terrorist number 2, Hafiz Muhammad Saeed. The mainstream mastermind of Pakistan-sponsored terror against India. His magnum opus was the 26/11 Mumbai terror strikes. One of India's most insidious and unpredictable enemies, Hafiz Saeed is also wanted in India for the 2001 attack on the Indian Parliament, along with Masood Azhar of Jaish-e-Mohammed. This brings us to India's most wanted terrorist number 3, Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar. One of India's most insidious and unpredictable enemies is the Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar, the founder of Jaish-e-Mohammed, a UN-designated terrorist organization. This terrorist was exchanged for hostages in the IC-814 hijacking. Masood Azhar then went on to mount the 2001 attack on Parliament and has struck India several times since, including most recently in Pathankot and then again in Pulwama last year. Declared a global terrorist by the UN, he continues to be protected by the Pakistan deep state.
A huge political war has erupted over the suspended Jammu and Kashmir Police Deputy Superintendent Davinder Singh, who was caught, remember, in South Kashmir while he was ferrying two suspected terrorists to Jammu last weekend. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi questioning the silence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah on the suspended cop. Rahul Gandhi asked the union government who was providing the officer so much protection. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra also demanding a thorough investigation. Now, the Congress has already said there is a larger conspiracy behind the arrest of Davinder Singh, seeking to know his links with the Pulwama attack, and has also demanded an independent investigation. Now, the J&K administration, remember, has stripped Davinder Singh of his State Gallantry Award. Interrogation revealing that Davinder Singh had visited Chandigarh in June last year along with suspected Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists. Manjeet Sehgal is joining me live on this big story that India Today continues to track. So Manjeet, of course, the details are now coming forth, but this is also becoming a political war. How exactly is the Congress targeting the union government over the arrest of this cop?
Well, Pooja, as far as the Congress is concerned, Congress is questioning the silence of the Prime Minister, Home Minister and other senior leaders of the ruling government. And as far as the investigations are concerned, the houses of Davinder Singh and his accomplices, besides the terrorists, and also Ahmed Mir, the advocate who was arrested with Davinder Singh, were also raided yesterday. And it has been found that Ahmed Mir, the lawyer, was working as overground worker of Hizbul Mujahideen, and he had been to Pakistan on Indian passport for 5 times. So now the security of Srinagar and Jammu airport is now being handed over to CISF, which manages other airports as well, as Davinder Singh was part of the anti-hijacking wing. Sources are also telling us that NIA can take up the investigations within a couple of days.
And also, is there any possible nexus into this controversy that has come up? Manjeet, thank you so much for giving us all the details on this big story.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.